I love this energy. I love this energy, bro. I love this energy, man. Yes, sir. My guy A Ward. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Brother, listen. I go on Instagram, and that's the fitting song. Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. Is that how you really feel, though? How real is that for you? This guy's crazy. This guy is crazy.
You trying to do what I'm doing. You do what I do. I do what I do. What? What up, 3?
What's up, brother? How you feeling, man? I mean, we here now. You feel me? This is it right here, brother. This is everything, man. And I told T-Top earlier.
You're welcome. You're welcome for having a shirt on, by the way. You're welcome for having a shirt on. You know, sometimes you get people looking crazy on this camera, just crawling out of bed with their shirt on and stuff like that.
Listen, man, how excited are you, brother? Because it feel like y'all trending on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm trending. If you look at the sports, Ward is trending right now. You know, you go scroll through it. Ward is trending. There's about 20 every 20 tweets, and then you'll see something about Cam Ward. But you know, everything else is this Ward. You know what I mean? So
Cam Ward, A Ward is crazy.
Yeah, we out here, man. We out here. Listen.
Oh
man. Very few things, you know, happen. Like when there's like significant moments like that you look forward to in the future in your career and different things like that. Very few times do they meet the expectation or the standard that you had the whole time in your mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And wow, you know what I mean? Like it's you know. It's here, you know, and it's huge, and it's the reception, you know, the relationships and the what I've given to the culture, the support and encouragement so far online has been so overwhelming, and yeah, man, it's good, man. It's really, really good. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, listen. You coming off, the C word. I'm using the C word. I don't use that word loosely. You coming off a classic with JC. Jay the Night with Ill Will. Y'all got company now. Y'all got company. For real. Right? How dope is it for you knowing that I just had a classic with JC? I'm about to go to the momentum of that battle.
Public influence. Drop the battle, man. Drop it. What y'all waiting for?
Yeah, drop the battle.
You see the algorithm? You see the algorithm? Drop it.
Yeah, drop that battle.
Now.
This for real. Right now, they should drop that battle. I think they were looking for some stickers and everything to go up and everything.
Yeah.
Just drop the battle, man.
Drop the battle.
The subscribers gonna come, man. Drop the battle, y'all. Y'all playing yourselves over. Before we go to T-Top right quick, the JC battle right quick, brother. Were you expecting that though?
No. I was not expecting that, man. It's you never know. You never know what you're going into a battle with.
Right.
Sometimes I've gone into battles with like what I felt was mid to me. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes I've gone into battles with what I think is some of my best writing to date, and I've gotten the opposite types of results. You know, going into the battle with JC, I knew I had some good material, but I know I didn't have a whole lot of heavy angles, and they weren't long rounds, and it wasn't like, you know, I wasn't talking about a whole lot, you know. But I knew there was going to be good energy, good humor, good everything. Like I don't ever write, you know, bad. You know what I mean? Like I'm always on my game. But I just didn't know with what he had for Nick G the week before, how he, you know, what he would come with. And bro, man, what? Like that crowd was like 200, 250 deep. They were there to hear bars. They were there to like support, encourage. They weren't going over the top or nothing. They was reacting to, and you know, the minute I start, I'm getting good reaction at first, and then he, similar to like, I won't say it's similar to like when I battled Nitty, you know, like started punching me in the mouth. I had to go first. He started punching me in the mouth. I'm like, oh, this what we on? This what we on? You know. So then I turned up, and I also knew that with my JC battle, I rode uphill this time. I was like, my third is gonna be my best. I knew that going into it. And so, man, him turning up, I turn up, bro, and then everybody saying that afterwards, man, that's awesome, bro. Like, you want to have your classics with with the guys that are going to be at the end of this all. Well, there shouldn't be top 50 battlers ever. Like you want your classics with those types of guys, you know.
What is it about that particular card you guys just had? Because it felt like you, JC, Tay Rock, Quest, T Top, all of you brothers, all you brothers on that card did not come to play. And I've seen cards where guys getting their first, up and coming leagues, getting their feet wet and everything like that. And sometimes brothers don't really go too hard sometimes, though, Ward. It felt like across the board, everybody went crazy, though. What do you attribute that to, though?
Yeah, it's a mixture of everything having to fall like correctly, the league running a good event, the venue being nice, the fans being engaged, the right battles being placed at the right times. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, And I think for me, I was out there when Bad News didn't show up, and I saw the crowd. I got to meet a lot of them. I didn't get the battle, but I saw like how they were a real good energy crowd.
Right.
Quest has been out there quite a bit, just because he's been judging that tournament, and then Geechee's been out there quite a bit because he's been there to see. And so a lot of guys saw those crowds and was like, yeah, this is a really nice crowd. Like Dayton's got a good hungry for battle rap. Maybe a lot of people who have never seen their favorites live just can't wait to see them rap, man. And when you get that and you mix it with, just high level performance, charisma, everybody's got to get in their own bags or whatever. Like it turns out for a great event, man. And so I think just as much as we all came highly prepared, the crowd and their engagement and their energy played so much a part into it as well. Because if that was a dead crowd, the bars would still have stood the test of time, but it just wouldn't have had that feel. And that crowd, they deserve the props too.
Is Ohio the next city that we should be talking about with the Houstons of the world and stuff like that, Ward? What do you think?
Man, who knows? Like, I mean, we got that Dayton area is an hour from Cincinnati and an hour from Columbus, and so there's big cities in Ohio that are all kind of around there, and not to mention, it's 3 hours from Pittsburgh, it's 3 hours from Detroit, like it's a central location for a lot of bigger cities and a lot of Midwest battle rap, So it definitely should be looked at as, hey, like we have a good foundation of people that are showing up to these battles here in Dayton. Like if we can start putting it on a bigger, then even more people are going to come in. And yeah, I think it's definitely, definitely a hotbed per se, for what could be, bigger battle rap events and, great crowds in the future.
Shout out to you and JC again, brother, for real, man. Indeed. For real, man. Great weekend of battle rap also last weekend.
Absolutely.
Across the board. It was a great weekend. I haven't seen a weekend like that where multitude of leagues are having going crazy. Doc's League, which you're on, and then the West Coast also with Danny Myers and Fate and everything like that. So it was a beautiful thing to see. You know what I mean? What made the negotiations work this time with URL?
My bad. We talking URL. I got to get right.
My brother's crazy.
Put my little bling on. Hollywood. All right, segment two with Hollywood.
Hollywood is activated. Go ahead, Hollywood.
What made it, man, like for the first time, I think that we both saw each other as an asset,
Okay.
I've always seen them as an asset, and at times in the past, I felt like they saw me as a project, something that they were going to be helping more than I would help them. I'm not saying that's incorrect now. I mean, they can definitely still feel that way, but I feel now, you know what I mean? Like when they reach out and they're providing me with this opportunity, wow, okay, you see the work that I've put in. You see that, like, what I do, how professional I am, my performance and everything is worthy of this type of opportunity. And, like literally the minute that the opportunity was posed to me, I said yes. There was no thinking about it anymore. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, we hadn't even got to the number, a price or anything like that. I was like, yes, we're going to make this happen. What do you mean? Like Lux and Twerk, London, Summer Madness, T-Top, like if I don't say yes to that, I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Like if I don't say yes to that, then there's something wrong with Ward. You know what I mean? Like he just obviously doesn't want to go over there, doesn't ever want to battle there or whatever. Like it doesn't really get any better than that, And yeah, when they brought that to me, I said, yo, yeah, say less, like let's get this ball moving, and just very appreciative I did my best in the whole process to, man, I had that contract signed so fast. I done printed off my own W-9s, sent my passport, my global entry, my everything, told them, what do you need? What do you need? I don't even know if you need a vaccination card, but here they are. You know what I mean? Like, I made sure they had everything possible that they had, immediately. And that's how just serious I was about it. And let them know too, like, yo, I appreciate it. And I don't let people down, and you'll see that.
Did you see the kind words Smack had said about you on Champion this morning? I watched Jay
Yeah,
Black.
I saw a couple clips. I saw a couple clips, man. And yeah, I thought it was, very, I mean, obviously Smack is a legend, and I know just as much as he loves running his company and just as much as he, loves being a part of what this is, I think he thoroughly enjoys battle rap as well. I think he enjoys watching the battles and seeing the entertainment aspect of us performing in front of thousands of people. And so for him to have said, hey, we've seen your performances, we know that you can do this, and it still stick to his. Listen, I loved it. It's a little different. The energy's a little different. Like, I love that. You know what I mean? You got to get that in.
Absolutely.
Because one thing I've always told people when people say it's different on URL, I always stuck by it's different on Summer Madness. It's different on Gnome. I always tell them, I said, I'm not going to buy into it's different at the Honeycomb Hideout or it's different, at the band battle or whatever. Now, I done battled in front of all my friends with the lights out before too. You know what I mean? Pause if necessary. And so, but I've always said, I stepped on that Gnome stage when Loso debuted, and I was nervous instantly. You know what I mean? Like, I know that those Gnome stages and those Summer Madness stages are different, and man, how awesome is it that 10 years into my career, I'm still experiencing new, different accolades and different things like that, And so that's really, really dope to me that it's not like I've seen it all now. There's still new things that I haven't experienced, and I'm excited for that in London.
You had a dope career, right? Would you have been disappointed if the chapter closes a battle rap, if you never graced the URL stage? Would you have been disappointed?
I could say there'll be slight disappointment, yeah. Not that it validates the career,
right.
But however, it's just kind of like that's something I've always wanted to do. It's something that man, like from the jump, like, yo, I one day, like, Smack's gonna introduce me to the stage, like, like that's just what, like, I've always had that as a bucket list thing. And I
think people have to understand what you just said right there, because there's people out there who feel that you frowned upon being on URL. And I've been interviewing you for years. I've never felt that way about that. I think it's always the negotiations, how we can make the look right, the battle right. And like you said, Summer Madness, other matches on the card, don't come at me with no damn crucibles or PG conversations and stuff like that. I think it's very important people to understand that about you and stuff.
Yeah, and it was always more of my belief in myself and less of me, like, feeling like they were not good enough for me. It was always just like, yo, Ward, I know, like, how good you are. I know how good you can be. I know that, you can continue to keep your career and keep your performances and everything at a high level to where you're going to be desired every year to be on that platform, Like, that's one of the things about this journey, man. Like, when you look back at the last 10 years, there's a lot of guys that have fallen off. A lot of guys.
A lot, Ward, a lot.
A lot of guys post caffeine when all of a sudden they weren't doing events every month. Now you don't see them on cards anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of people could take a year off and then be forgotten. And the one thing I've not done, since 2018 is taking a year off. We're 7 years straight with this stuff, to the point that every year it's a question because of what I'm doing, And so it's always just been like, yo, the wait is because I believe in myself so much that I believe, I've earned this, and I can position myself to put on the biggest event in the biggest league in the world.
How does it feel? Because I'm noticing also on social media this morning, Ward, a lot of your peers are happy for you.
Very much so.
I'm still easy to block. I'm seeing a lot of tweets People say I'm happy for Ward. He did it his way and everything. A lot of tweets. What does it mean for your peers to co-sign this battle, co-sign you getting this look and everything like that, and just happy for you for your journey and everything to get here? So you know what I mean?
You know, there was a period in time where it wouldn't have been that cool because a lot of people were like didn't want to publicly say that because they didn't want to piss off the powers that be.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And now I just think that, like, you know, the camaraderie and the understanding, you know, post the big exclusivity contract era and stuff like that, the understanding has warmed up to where it's like, it used to be like, bro, get in line like the rest of us. We all did it this way. We all did it. You ain't no different. Whoop de whoop. And now for the last couple of years, it's like, oh, you know, looking back, you know, Ward might have been right. You know what I mean? Like he might have, you know, and I think that people have warmed up to that. Not to mention, like, I mean, I'm not like when I go out and go to events and see people, like I'm a cool guy to hang out with. You know, like I've made friends. I've made friends. You know what I mean? I'm not standoffish or just right back at the hotel. I've made friends. We've hung out. We spent a lot of time together. Just my peers. And so, man, I think that that mixed with, bro, like, even if you're not a fan of me, people watch the work ethic and the work I put into from afar, and at some point they're just like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? Like, and so, you know, I last week I was in where was I, Dayton? Yeah, you know, Columbus. You know, and I walked by and Jack Boyd he reached out, shook my hand, said, you know, welcome. And I just handed him my coat and just walked right by him because I don't know what he was welcoming me for because, you know, I'm in the main suite now. So Jack, you know, I just handed him my coat and was like, yo, this is my house. I'll let Beasley and Smack know if we want to put it. I'm playing with Jack. That's my Jack Boyd's my dog, man. We are rivals online, but that's my dog. Of course, you know, but guys, like, you know, you see that, but like guys are very, very happy, very excited. However, let's bring that to this.
Yes, sir.
The pressure's on, right?
On both sides, though. Both sides, though, I think. Let's break this down. Let's go to the T-Top side right quick. You're getting A-Ward. Initiation. People want to see A-Ward number one, right? A-Ward's coming off a classic battle with JC, bro. If you don't think A-Ward's coming out to play, he's not coming to play. And T-Top told me the respect factor he has for you, he know what the fuck this is, though, Ward.
Yeah, one thing about T-Top, and this is a scary thing, is he doesn't accept big battles until he's already got the angles in his head. You know what I mean? It's not like he just takes a battle and is like, yeah, I'll get around to it, you know? So T-Top, you know, he been thinking about the angles. He been, you know, shout out to him for using the Jesus is Black on Loso. Appreciate him not hitting me with that. You know, but, you know, he's a very, you know, very good angler, very charismatic, you know, but like, yo, he's going to be, you know, I know he battles the week before on the Houston Barcode, and then he's running an event the night before. You know, so he's got things on his plate, but that doesn't make me feel like he's locked in, you know, he knows what he wants to talk about. I think that there is some pressure on him. However, the reception of what has been the announcement is like, URL made the right choice. Ward he's this, he should be on this type of thing. I think it's like, if we go in there and have a debatable or have a classic or have a whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. But I think there's an expectation on those first 8 bars that when I speak, you know, on URL for the first time, you know, like I feel like I got to overwin, which is fine. But I feel like I got to overwin. I feel like it's like, you know, you go in there and you have a debatable battle. It's like, yeah, see, it's not all peaches and cream over here. You got to fight your way. You may help. But no, I feel like I gotta overwin. And
do you think that's going to be the narrative? Let's, God forbid, they're throwing it out there. Let's say you catch a loss at T-Top or debatable, right? People are going to say it's different over here. That's why Ward lost, because it's different over here. That's a narrative, and the conversation would be.
If I was to lose clearly, yes, you know what I mean. Or if we were to have a debatable and the performance just wasn't there, like it was just a kind of a forgettable debatable, yes. Like if I go in and we have a crazy, like, you know, battle of the night type event where some people got him winning and some people got me winning, I don't think so, you know? Because at the end of the day, T-Top on his highest level is one of the most dangerous battle rappers ever, right? So if I'm going in there and I'm having a high caliber T-top, angles, charisma, punches, witty jokes, bitch, 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 you know what I mean? That T-top or whatever. Like if I go in and I got that, you know what I
Scratching
mean?
his head and shit.
Yeah. Then then it's gonna be well received. I just feel like that. Like I feel like most of the eyes are gonna be on me. Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna address? Is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do that? Like, are the rebuttals gonna hit? Are we gonna get boom? I just feel like a lot of that is on me, and that's why I feel like that when we go during the night is important too. I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not making no demands or anything like that. It is what it is. But like I just hope that we have a good placement on the card. Rapping and everything.
Sir, would it shock you at all? Coleman, do you think? I mean, before Lux and Twerk, would it shock you? Y'all are right before Lux and Twerk, though.
No, it wouldn't shock me a bit. It wouldn't shock me a bit.
You don't want that. If I know you don't want that, though.
I don't. I mean, I'd prefer to go third or fourth. I don't even know the only battles I know are the ones that are announced. So I mean, that's just straight up. I don't even know the other battles, and so once they all get locked and I look at it, I could probably have a better idea. I think going third would be beautiful. You know what I mean? I would love that. But ultimately, like that's all, man. That's we'll figure that out on the day of. You know what I mean? But right now, it's about preparing for the bear, man.
To the new fans that don't know about this, before you and Twerk conversations was out there, back to the pandemic era, you and T-Top had words. If you know, you know. I remember you on 50 minutes of fame saying, T-Top, stop playing with my name. And I remember those blogs and stuff like that you did, though. But look, I guess T-Top will be the right person, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really always been Twerk or T-Top, in the conversations post COVID. So, I think that, the only other option that I had received one time was Real Sick at one point in time, but it's always really been Twerk or T-Top. And, that's been personally for me something I wanted because, I mean, listen, I've held out for 10 years, and T-Top's an angler. And it's like, who better to come in there and be like, they not like us. Like he can, they not like us. Like who are you? You're a visitor, all that kind of stuff. And I want all that. I want all of that out the gate.
Do you feel rejuvenated at all?
I'm always juvenated, bro. Ain't no re. I don't even know that's a word. I'm juvenated. I don't even know.
Take the re off.
Yeah, I'm just juvenated, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I will say this much. Getting I'm gonna use the term loosely, ducked by Twerk and Bad News, and I use it loosely because I understand there was reasons. There was a month or two where I was just kind of getting frustrated because like I like for my resume to be a certain way for the year, and I didn't think people was giving me enough credit for clearly beating Swamp. And I didn't think people was giving me enough credit for like how great the Truffaut battle was that I felt like I won, and some of the other stuff, And so, once me and Rock hit 1 million, that was really like exciting. I was like super excited or whatever. Then I locked in Coffee and I locked in Geechee for the compliment battle, and I'm like, oh, this is exciting,
Right.
And then I locked in JC, and I'm like, okay, now we're looking up, now we're on the up and up. And then when we locked in T-Top for Summer Madness, I was like, oh, now this resume is looking real nice now, Yeah. So I'm definitely I'm definitely excited, man. I just kind of let everything fall the way it falls. Not to be cliche, but like I trust God's timing, and this is good, man. This is good.
It's like LeBron James when he won his first championship. He's like, it's about damn time. And I think that's the coach will feel like, this about damn time we get war on URL. And once again, to hear Smack talk about you on Champion and everything like that. And I know they're happy over there, bro. I could just tell the way he was talking and stuff like that. We finally got A-Ward over there. He said, Smack was kind of saying, your battles can't be legit until you rap in front of him, type thing and stuff like that. And I'm glad he feels
fine. Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean?
He deserves that. He's put the work in to be able to say, hey, I'm the doctor. Until I see
Right.
you and say the arm is broken, the arm is not broken. You know what I mean? I don't care what the nurse practitioner said or
Right.
whatever. I am Smack. I am Battle Rep. And until I see, and he's earned, do I believe that on my end? Of course, we have our own. Do I want the fans to believe that? We have our own. But he's earned every bit of to be able to say, like, you haven't arrived until I call you to the stage.
Here's another accolade for you, man. Here's a list of battlers that made their URL debut on Summer Madness.
Crazy.
Murder Mook, Loaded Lux, Iron Solomon, Sirius Jones, Charlie Clips, Enes, Pat Stay, Gemini, Soul, and now my brother A Ward.
It's fire, bro. That's super fire, man.
That's a crazy list right there. URL debuts, brother. You know what I mean?
Man, yes, bro. It's so I'm definitely blessed, man. I'm appreciative.
You are, brother. You are, man. You are.
I'm appreciative, very much so. And shout out to KD, JB. They played a heavy part of this, on the back end.
Really?
Yeah. Just helping facilitate things and just being, and then, obviously Beasley, the conversations that we've had. And shout out to T-Top, for taking the battle. I do believe that, it's a battle that he wanted, and, who doesn't want to be on Summer Madness. But at the end of the day, he could have been like, nah, I need more money. It's A-Ward's debut. Nah, I need this. Nah, I need that.
Right.
But, when I saw him in New York for the compliment battles, I first thing I walked up to him and said, yo, it's signed. It's signed. Like, it's on you now. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
My guy, really? This is what we doing? That is crazy. First day you are on, it's crazy. Only you, dog. Only you, man.
Man, the Glock 40 was in the backpack, man. The Glock 40
right? Was in the backpack, right?
In the backpack. Yeah.
How important was for you to go back to this right quick? Trusting your process and trusting the process for you to get where you're at right now. Was it hard for you to do that though?
Sometimes, yeah. Whenever, like, just the human element of it, I mean, you try to pretend like as a Christian, like, oh, I trust God and everything. He's gonna take care of it. You know what I mean? Right. It'll happen when it happens, whatever. Right. But then there's the human element of it that is just like, constantly being told you're not this, or having, a few months to where you're just having to search for battles to try to re-engage the buzz or get, whatever, because how much I love to be a competitor and wanting to be spoken in the same sentences as my, legendary peers and stuff like that. And so whenever I got into the flesh of like having or needing to be validated, sometimes it'd be like, man, you always got this, you can always just go over there and sign something or hit them up and say, yo, I want this. And immediately you're going to be talked about because it's your debut, But it's just like I said, I'm blessed to have great group of guys around me with 72 and the Horsemen, and just just stay in the course of doing what I do, and like really just like I said, trusting God is like, man. But it's so funny, man, because this battle is the 10-year like anniversary of my first battle too. So it's
really?
My first battle ever was September 20th, 2015. So, 10 years almost 10 years to the day is like my debut on Summer Madness, and I'm just like, yo, that's super, super cool too,
That's fine.
And yeah, man, it's like, man, when you think about it though, bro, like it's a long time. It's a lot of years, a lot of interviews every weekend.
Yeah.
Yo, Ward, when are we going to see you on? Yo, Ward, when are we, you know what I mean? And a lot of valid questions. Like every year there's been like, well, maybe this year, maybe this year,
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
Think about this, Ward. The month of September, right? We're getting A-Ward and T-Top, Lux and Twerk, and Hitman and Mook. You could ask. I mean, that's the month of September right there, brother. Those three battles is just crazy. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to shade J-Rock and Fonz. I love the battle, but I do see more frenzy. We're gonna call a spade a spade. The frenzy for you and T-Top is wild, man. It's just wild and stuff like that, brother.
I wonder what URL expected with the announcement and like now what they're seeing. I wonder if it lines up, because I've always been like, right. So my thing is like, I've always been like, yo, like when you book this, it's gonna be a moment, you know. That's why I was always big on like I don't just want to just pop up on a band or
Right.
do
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, And I always say respectfully, these are all great events that mean a lot of things to the culture, your bands and your all this stuff. But I'm like, this is a moment. This is a August 15th. Where were you whenever it popped down on your URL app and you were like, yo, what? You know what I mean? And so I hope that they're already like, yo, this is paying off. You know what I mean? I hope that
Yeah.
the minute they drop the announcement, they're looking at the attraction and the engagement, and the support, and everything. People are buying an app. I don't have 5 people text my phone like, I guess I'm buying an app now. You know what I mean? It's like So I'm hoping that they see, that the excitement is, and I'm just glad that we came to an agreement to where we could make it a moment, rather than it just being another battle on another card.
This is not your first time in London, right?
Not my first time in the Steel Yard. So I battled Sharon in the same venue.
In the same
Yep.
venue, brother. Wow.
Same venue. Yep. So, yep. And so I battled it'll be my 4th time in London. No, it'll be my 3rd time in London. I battled Archaic in London, then I battled Sharon in the Steel Yard, and then I went out to Manchester, England, and got no showed by Shocks. So it'll be my 4th time out there, but 3rd time battling.
And why do you don't gotta say this? I'm gonna put this out here, right? I think you and Twerk gonna happen on URL.
Man, well, I hope so.
If I'm a smart man, URL is gonna find a way to grab that, as they should. I'm not even mad at that. TB, I love y'all, but if URL decides, listen, man, hand that over here. Listen, we're expecting to see you on URL more frequently. It's not a one-time thing, right?
No, it's not a one-time thing at all. No, absolutely not. Yeah, I never looked at it like that at all. I looked at it as, like once we get this out the way, like, right. Of course people want to see me in Twerk. They want to see me in Chess. They want to see me. But yo, if you like, where's Sheet Happens at? Yo, where's Eunice at? Yo, where are these guys at? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't duck smoke, but I wanted to get it out of the way like this first, And now, granted, like, my performance needs to be top notch. It needs to be when I walk off that stage that I can say, all right, bring me such and such. And that's what I plan to do.
Well, Smack already said he has a multitude of names that he want to pair you up with or champion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can just tell Smack what he kept. I like Smack's energy also, man, when they were talking about you, brother. For real, man. This one is going to be the one right here. I can see why people are not going to fly to London to see this battle. Pay-per-view, apps. I think people are this is a great time in battle rap and stuff when announcements like this happen and the culture across the board is happy. There's why is this happening? Who asked for this battle? Y'all reaching with this one. Why is T1 battling T-Top? Why is T-Top that's not happening, brother. That's not happening at all. Across the board, everyone's happy, bro.
Yeah, and that's a blessing, man. That's a testament to T-Top's a very likable guy, great battler, and then the work that I put in. And so that's what you want to see, and you want to see the fans wanting to see you, and that's really dope.
Do you think you'll be nervous the morning of?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't get nervous too much anymore, but there's been a couple times where I woke up in the middle of the night just trying to think of bars and stuff like that, and like I felt like a little pressure, in my head. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, like there's this. It's a big moment. It's a big moment, and can't overthink it. Got to go in there and be like, yo, Ward, you're Ward, and this is a big moment because all you got to do is be yourself. You know what I mean? And everything's going to be great. You know? So you can't overthink it, but also you can't just be oblivious and just stroll in there like, when I touch that stage and I look around and I shake Smack's hand and, and he says everything good and the coin hits and I'm in my head like, yo, this is really happening. Like, you got to be ready for that, And, the nerves are going to be there.
T-Top URL, someone man. That sounds so dope to say it as a blogger. T-Top, someone madness. That just sounds so dope. And shout out to URL, man. 3 for 3 with these battles, man. The Twerk and Lux. How you feel about that battle?
Amazing. That's one of the reasons I immediately was saying yes to, was just like, I'm like, Lux International, you know what I mean? Like main event. With Twerk, I was like, yo, they were already probably gonna sell out, but like I'm just like, yo, this thing's gonna sell out quick, the opportunity of people to get to see Lux overseas. I was like, man, this is with that. And like I said, that was the only battle that I knew was on the card. And I told him yes immediately because yeah, it's just it's good, man. I love the tweets that people keep saying it feels like Summer Madness again because not only is it like it's cool to be like, yo, A Ward's on URL, but it's cool to bring a battle to the card that makes people feel like the whole card benefits from it, not just A Ward gets the battle, battle on Summer Madness, he benefits from it. Like the whole card is getting that feel. You know what I mean?
Wow. Brother, I'm not gonna keep you long, man. I'm just happy for you, man. You and T-Top are y'all are good brothers and stuff in this culture. Two good dudes, number one, and everything like that. And like I said, when I heard spoke to T-Top, he said, 3, I already know what this battle's about. So he can't play your URL debut. What more can you ask from a battle though? They say freshman hazing, though. You're getting freshman hazed.
Yeah. They better have my flight to me 2 weeks ahead of time. I ain't about to be at the airport waiting on my confirmation number or nothing. I need all of that. But yeah, the freshman hazing, bro. That is funny. And I ain't mad at that. Just don't put me in one of them crazy hotels in London, them hostels or whatever they are. Don't put me in one of them joints.
Ward, I appreciate you, brother. I'm happy for you, brother. For real. I mean that genuinely, man. Can't wait to see you.
We made it, man.
Brother, man.
We made it, man.
We made it, brother. We made it, man.
Shout out to everybody that's helped on the way, man. And yeah, appreciate you too, man. So
always. You happy, ain't you? I know. I haven't seen you smile like this in a long time, bro.
Yo, T-Top, you're welcome. I got you on Summer Madness, man. I helped you out, man. I helped you out, bro.
My guy, Ward. I appreciate you, brother.
You already know.
My guy, man. Shout out to my brother A Ward.